Indian pilgrims may soon get to visit the Kailash Mansarovar in Tibet. This after Prime Minister Modi and EAM Jaishankar's visit to Brazil for the G20 Summit. While there was no repeat of a Modi-Xi meeting like the BRICS Summit, however, Dr. Jaishankar did meet his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi, and talks specially focused on the resumption of the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage. More than 20,000 Indian tourists visited the holy Mount Kailash each year before the pandemic, but that crashed to nearly zero for 5 years, firstly due to the pandemic and then the LAC military standoff. Situated at a height of more than 6,600 meters in Tibet, the holy Mount Kailash and Mansarovar Lake region is also the birthplace of civilization-defining rivers including the Brahmaputra, Indus and Satluj. It has been one of the holiest pilgrimage sites for Hindus and Indians for centuries, and a resumption of the pilgrimage would indicate that China is serious about normalizing ties with India. So progress may soon be made on three issues. Firstly, the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage. Secondly, New Delhi may in turn lift its ban on direct flights from China. And thirdly, on river flow data. A statement by the Ministry of External Affairs read, quote, "The discussions focused on the next steps in India-China relations. Among the steps discussed were the resumption of the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra pilgrimage, data sharing on trans-border rivers, direct flights between India and China, and media exchanges," unquote. The Jaishankar-Wang Yi meeting in Rio signals real intent by India and China to normalize ties after the military disengagement. S. Jaishankar stated, quote, "Our leaders reached a consensus on taking next steps in our relationship bearing in mind the understanding of 21st October. I'm glad to note that on the ground, the implementation of the understanding has proceeded as planned," unquote. Jaishankar's message highlights that measurable progress has been made at the LAC, where the Chinese PLA dismantled all structures in neutral territory and pulled back to pre-2020 positions. Indian Army has also begun patrolling at Demchok and Depsang, the final two friction points in Ladakh. In response, the Chinese readout highlighted on the need to send more positive signals to enhance mutual trust and reduce suspicion, unquote. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian stated, quote, "As Foreign Minister Wang Yi noted, President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a successful meeting in Kazan not long ago. China-India relations are now at a new starting point," unquote. Coming back to the resumption of the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, why is it significant? Remember, 2024 marks the fifth consecutive year since 2020 that both official routes for the pilgrimage have been shut or closed. China shut its borders in 2020 due to the pandemic, and the pilgrimage did not resume due to the military standoff which followed. As a result, Indian pilgrims had been limited to aerial darshan with the help of chartered tourism flights. CCP actions, however, violated the agreements with New Delhi it signed in 2013 and 2014, which stated that China would not shut the two official pilgrimage routes without prior notice to India. The 2013 agreement governed the Lipulekh Pass route, while the 2014 agreement governed the Nathula Pass through Sikkim. Meanwhile, the private route through Nepal, which China opened last year, is practically inaccessible to Indians due to the stringent regulations as well as a hike in the fees. Same is the case with direct flights. This time it was India which banned all direct flights from China first due to the pandemic in 2020, but the ban stayed on after the Galwan Valley clashes, which resulted in the death of soldiers on both sides. In 2019, there were 539 direct flights between the two countries, which crashed to virtually nil for the next 5 years. The lack of direct routes has negatively impacted airlines and businesses, especially in China, which is already facing the brunt of a slowdown in its economy, marred by high unemployment rates and a gloomy property and real estate crisis. The Jaishankar and Wang Yi meet also indicates that disengagement at two main friction points, Demchok and Depsang plains, has contributed to maintenance of border peace. The next step on the agenda is demilitarization, as the Indian Army and PLA still have nearly 50,000 to 60,000 troops deployed along the LAC. Some restrictions, though, are expected to remain. while any FDI from China will remain under strictest scrutiny. The Prime Minister Modi-led BJP government had, in 2020, banned over 200 Chinese mobile apps, including TikTok and WeChat, for national security reasons. Have your say. Can India trust China to respect the pre-2020 status quo and restart the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.